Last thing, Senator Shaheen has a statement. She's apparently not coming to the ball tonight.
Oh, okay.
She's upset that the president endorsed a proposal to put South Carolina above New Hampshire, and she says that New Hampshire is now vulnerable for her party. Does the president have a response to that?
Looking backward, it is the ultimate irony, that the 2020 election was proven by the Trump administration's Homeland. Oh, sorry. I think I got ahead of myself there. We take the law very seriously here, and so that's the number one thing. The president announced historic relief to protect the hard-earned pensions of hundreds of thousands of union workers and retirees, thanks to the American Rescue Plan.
Amidst protests in China against the CCP, and after Apple changed its AirDrop feature for Chinese iPhone users, why was Tim Cook seated at the head table during the last state dinner here at the White House?
I don't have any specifics on who was invited, why they were invited. Don't have that to share with you. As you know, Tim Cook was also in Phoenix, Arizona, when the president was talking about the CHIPS and Science Act, made a very important...
Karine, just real quick on Twitter, because you guys said you're keeping a close eye on Elon Musk's ownership, and it's the first time we've talked to you since he released the files a few days ago. Is it the White House view that decisions at Twitter were made appropriately in terms of decisions to censor this reporting ahead of the election?
You mischaracterized actually what I actually said. It took it out of context when you asked her question. Look, when I answered the question, and I actually already addressed this about how the White House and the administration is seeing what's happening on Twitter. We follow also what's going on, just like you guys are reporting and just like you guys are seeing. And what I was commenting to is like, yes, we're seeing what is happening, just like you all are seeing what's happening with Twitter. So just want to clear that up because you definitely mischaracterized what I said or put it out of context. And so can you ask your question again?
Yes, my question was that you had said, I think 6 or so days ago, that the White House was watching closely the situation at Twitter after Elon Musk's ownership of it with respect to misinformation. And because these files were released on the basis of, hack materials clause at Twitter, decisions were made to censor reporting. My question was, is it the White House view that these decisions were made appropriately in light of what has come out?
Which decisions? By whom?
By Twitter.
By Twitter on, okay. So look, we see this as an interesting or a coincidence, if I may, that he would so haphazardly, Twitter would so haphazardly push this distraction. That is a full of old news, if you think about it. What is happening? It's frankly, it's not healthy. It won't do anything to help a single American improve their lives. And so, look. This isn't. We see this as an interesting, coincidence, and it's a distraction.
The Twitter files have released that the company typically required an official or law enforcement finding that materials were hacked in order to exercise their company policy to restrict certain stories or reporting. And the journalist who released the material noted that in this case, around the Hunter Biden laptop story, there was no official or law enforcement finding that appeared in the material that he was given. So my question to you is, did anyone from the Biden team communicate to Twitter that this material was from hack, or this reporting stemmed from hacked materials?
Are you talking about the campaign?
It would have been the campaign or anyone around the family. Just wondering because in the Twitter files release and what Matt Taibbi said, he noted that typically the company would require a law enforcement or official finding that something was hacked in order to exercise their hacked materials clause, and that he didn't see that in what had been given to him. So wondering if it was communicated even informally by someone around the president or the president's family or the campaign that this was hacked material or could have come from hacked material, given that there was so much concern, especially after the 2018 foreign interference situation, that could be something that we would see in that election. So I'm wondering if there was that communication there surrounding the Hunter Biden laptop story.
So I can't speak to decisions made by the campaign from here. That is not. It is a political campaign, so I can't speak from here. I'm covered by the Hatch Act, and so I'm just not going to comment on the question that you're asking me. But what I can say more broadly is, of course, it's up to these companies to make their own decision about the content on.
In this prisoner swap, why did Russia get such a better deal?
Look, I've talked about this, and I'll say this again. Here were our choices. Our choices was Brittney or no one at all. Bringing home one American or no American at all. And that's
a professional athlete. We gave up a prolific arms dealer who was convicted of trying to kill Americans, who was called the Merchant of Death.
The professional athlete is also an American citizen. So let's not forget that. Who deserved,
an American citizen,
and
so we can do this all back.
and I've explained how the Russians have illegally totally illegitimately treated his situation. I've been very clear on that. We've laid that out for you, and again, the president felt that this was an opportunity to bring Brittney home.
One more quickly, Leader McCarthy has called this, quote, a gift to Vladimir Putin, saying it endangers American lives. Your message to McCarthy.
Again, sadly, Russia and other countries have already been willing to wrongfully detain U.S. citizens. This is something that they have been willing to do.
And what in his contention, this is a gift to Vladimir Putin.
What we have said, and basically I'm just going to repeat what I have been saying. The president is committed and has been very clear.
How do you dispel the public perception that if you are a celebrity or a professional athlete, you get preferential treatment in a situation like this?
Look, this was not a choice for us of which American to bring home. That was not the choice. It was a choice between bringing home one American or bringing home none. We would have preferred, of course, we would have preferred to see them both released. That's what we've been calling on. That's what you've been hearing from me and the president this past year. But we did not want to lose the opportunity before us to secure the release of one of them. Unfortunately, the choice became to either bring Brittney home or no one. As the president said this morning, he will never stop working to secure Paul's release and return home, and he will not give up. On a personal note, Brittney is more than an athlete, more than an Olympian. She is an important role model and inspiration to millions of Americans, particularly the LGBTQI plus Americans and women of color.
I just wanted to ask, have there been any similar efforts regarding American Mark Fogel, who was also in Russia, also arrested on marijuana charges? How is his case different, or why is the actions for Mark Fogel different than these?
So look, we take seriously our responsibility to assist U.S. citizens. Any specifics on Mark Fogel or any others, I would refer you to the State Department for additional information on those specific cases. Every case is different.
But you do see a difference between Griner's case and Fogel's case.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that sometimes we're not able to talk about that particular individual.
Elon Musk this week fired former FBI General Counsel Jim Baker, who was serving as a top Twitter lawyer. Musk alleges that he may have been involved with countermanding his attempts at transparency. And I was wondering if anyone in the Biden administration was in touch with Baker, either regarding moderation decisions that critics call political censorship or regarding his transparency efforts recently.
So it's up to private companies to make these types of decisions. We were not involved. I can say that. We were not involved.
Briefly on the not involved in speaking with Baker about this transparency effort by Musk, is that what you're saying? That the Biden administration wasn't involved?
We were just not involved. Just answering your question. We were not involved. Okay.